going to show you how to create this Christmas ornament shaker card using this Christmas truck. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is take one of the cardstocks that you want for the base and just fold it in half. And if you need to, you can score it and just use a bone folder to make a nice tight fold. But our cards are pretty easy to fold by hand. And then just set this aside. And what you're going to do is create a little border by using another cardstock, and just like this one right here, see how there's a little black border around it? So what you're going to do is eyeball it. So you're just going to figure out how much of a border you want, and then notch it with your fingernail right here on both sides. So I want that same size border all the way around. So I'm going to notch it like this, and then using a paper trimmer, I'm just going to cut it where the notches are. Like this. And then what I'll do is I'll take the white cardstock again, another cardstock, and then just make a little border. So it depends on what size border you want. I just want a tiny little one, just enough so it peeks out. So I'm going to do this, eyeball it, and then once again use my fingernail to notch it. And you're going to notch it on both sides just so that it's nice and even, like that. And then using the paper trimmer, you're going to go ahead and cut it once again. Now what you're going to do is take the background, which is just N133, and then using the VersaFine ink pad, this is the black, this is available on the DeNami website. Just stamp the background like this, and then create a whole background. So I'm just going to stamp it again. And just to continue the background, what I do is I look to the side and see where the design ends, and then just continuing on the pattern. So look how simple that was. It creates a seamless background. And that way, what you'll do is you take this ornament and just decide where you want to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it a little towards the center, like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attach it to this. So I'm taking my ATG adhesive applicator. I'm going to use this, apply it to the back, like this. Just attach it right there to center it the way you like. There. So then I have a complete panel. And what I'm going to do next is take that X-Acto knife. And the key to using that is make sure it's always at a 45-degree angle and with the blade going in the direction that you're cutting. So like this, and just turn the paper as you go on. And notice I'm doing it through two thicknesses because I have the two layers together. And then with your extra piece of white cardstock, you're just going to cut off about the same size. You can either measure it or just eyeball it. It's not going to be that critical to get it exact. Now what you're going to do is take a cardstock like this and then just place that and then stamp a design inside it. Just being careful to not get it outside the border. And it doesn't have to be that exact, because you can move the panel. Now what you're going to do is take a plastic box, and this is our cupcake box from our website, and just cut off a piece bigger than the circle, the cutout, just like that. And more of the shape of a square would be ideal. And then you're going to put the ATG gun adhesive right around there, which I already did on this. And then you're just going to put this right on there. And then just going to set it aside. So that creates a little window. So now with this one that you've already done, just color it in the way you'd like. I'm using the Tombow markers. Then you'll take the Quickie glue pen and apply this to anything that you want glittered. And depending on the color you use, I'm going to use this one on anything that has a yellow cast to it or yellow blend, which would be green and the yellow. And if you'd use any orange, you'd want to do that as well. Just set that aside, and then I'm going to add some more glitter for the rest of it. You can either do the whole thing or you can just do outlines. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to add a little snowflake background here. This is probably something I should have done before I added the glitter, but you just kind of go with the flow here. Now what I'm going to do is take this, turn it around, and get some mounting tape right here. Just break off a piece like this and just tear it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it in half lengthwise like this. And I'm going to create a little, like a dam around the hole. So you're going to just go around just making sure that there's no places that are, no gaps, so that sequins stay in place. So I'm just going to do this all the way around. So now what you're going to do is you're going to have to put the sequins on there. So I have two kinds that are available on our website. So you're just going to sprinkle some on there. And you could just choose whatever colors we have there. I like to use a lot of pastels like this. And then this one is the sparkling snowflakes. So this one you can just add to anything. I've used this for our Christmas cards, like when I did a tree, I just added some snowflakes to the tree, just like that. And this is going to be the tricky part because you're not going to know exactly where it's going to end up. So what you're going to do is you just lightly lay it on there and then flip it over. And actually this turned out pretty good. It's actually centered, but you can actually mark it if you want to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in parts of the ornament hanger like that. So you're just going to take a ruler and kind of figure out where the center of the ornament is. Just put a dot there, and then just using a ruler, just make a little line like that. So now you set this aside, and with some of your scrap paper that you already trimmed off, like this, you can just make a small little panel for your message. And then I'm gonna use this one, a cute little simple Merry Christmas. Like this, and then now I want to create a little background to it. Just center it like that. What you could do is you can use your ATG and just attach it or cut it in advance. It doesn't really matter which order you do it. Because it's so small, it's easy enough for me to just cut it by hand with scissors. So I'm just going to do that, and then just get my scissors and just go across that whole thing. I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon to it. So this is a grosgrain ribbon. And then I'm going to attach this a little off to the side here. Now I'm going to attach it to the card right here. You can either do it directly on the back of the card or on this one. So if you want to add a bow, just take another ribbon. Leave it, don't cut it in advance, just go ahead and fold it like this and then go straight into a bow. So this is a way to make a really nice bow without adding the bulk of that first knot that you would normally do if you're tying your shoes. So just go straight into the bow, and then you always end up with a perfect bow. Just make sure that the knot is very tight. That allows you to pull on the tails and tighten up the loops to get the size that you want. So this is about the size I want. And then just trim off the ends like that. And then using my ATG gun, I'm going to take this. I'm going to attach it to the backs of the bow. This is the nice thing about this ATG is you can use it on your hands like this, And you could do a lot more manipulation of getting exactly where you want. And the next part is optional, but I'm going to take a little button and just add it to the middle of the bow here. And then I'm going to take this ATG gun again, put that on the back of my finger, and then right here. And I like that it's nice and flat as opposed to using a glue dot, which would be a little bit lumpy. Just do that and just attach it. It's a nice firm hold. And then I'm just taking an adhesive rhinestone. Just pop off there and then put that on top. And look how that turned out. Look how cute that is. It's got the little shakers. A lot of dimension, a lot of sparkle, and really a happy card. So thanks so much for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Be sure to follow us on social media and visit our website and sign up for our email list so that you could see all the specials and the news that we have going on. See you next time. Bye.